currently OST, but sooner the Secretary for Department of Economic Affairs, also the Chief of SPMCL for now, Mr. Sinha, all the award-winning officers and staff of SPMCL, congratulations to you. Majority of what I wanted to say has been covered by Honorable Minister of State, although he spoke in Hindi. Um, so I won't repeat most of it. But what I would like to commend the SPMCL is for one or two things which they have done with a visionary kind of a futuristic look, on which I appreciate the measures taken. So I'll just sort of recall a few of them. First of all, today we are inaugurating a new office for you all, a much deserved, newer, spacious, and a fresh office, your own office. So the carpet area is twice more than what it was earlier, 22,200 square feet, and you bought it at a cost of 157.5 crores. I think it is not just for the sake of money that you're going to save, but you deserve a better working space, your own working space, a working space which is designed for your needs. And I also have been shown the newer, sleeker workstations that each one of you all have got. So I think that's a very sensible step and a welfare of the human resources step, where the staff and officers, get the due congenial workspace, which is so important for productivity. This is something which the finance ministry has been working on, not just for SPMCL, but we have done this for the boards, the CBDT and CBIC, also for the revenue. We are looking at accommodation for all the field formation wherever they are, because in metropolitan towns, otherwise you end up traveling such huge distances, neither quality time given for the family, nor when you reach work, you're fresh. So we have put accommodation, working space, and also residential accommodation as very important criteria that we are ramping up the capacities. This is one example. And of course, when you talk of money, therefore, it gives you an annual saving of 12 crore rupees each year, which is a huge, big saving, very well deserved. And I'm grateful for the thought, timely thought with which you bought this building. Although we talk about digital India, payments, fintech, and so on, there is still currency required for circulation. It doesn't have to be as much as before, but it is still there. And in the last financial year alone, ending March 31st, 2025, SPMCL has produced 1,200 crore banknotes, which is what you're producing, your capacity to produce. So, and besides that, 150 crore circulation coins, not commemorative coins, circulation coins. Then you've also done 1.5 crore passport booklets, all in 1 year. 700 crore excise adhesive labels. So, various categories of postal and security related stationery, which is so essential for government and for public services. All this is part of 1 year's work. But I'm also equally impressed by the popularity of all the sovereign souvenir coins that you produce. They are very important in promoting the culture of this country, the rich history and art, and in free India's recorded history, only 210 total commemorative coins have been produced, of which 105 have been produced in the last decade itself. And they've really covered so many wide areas of India's diverse culture. 2900th birth anniversary of Jain Tirthankar, Sri Parshvanath Bhagwan has been commemorated. 550th Prakash Parab of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and also the new Parliament complex. So, keeping up with contemporary requirements, you've been producing coins, 1,000 years celebration of Brihadishwara temple, and also I very strongly recall Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and also the G20 India presidency. Um, you produced more than 20,000 coins. Uh, you produced much more than that, but 20,000 coins have been purchased by the public uh, in the new series of color sovereign coins. These color sovereign coins are really something which has attracted the people's imagination. A lot of people seem to like it. You produced it in the theme of Panchatantra. You produced it in the scheme of or theme of endangered species of animals, and also Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya. But my personal experience about the Panchatantra coins is something which I'll never forget. You produced it prior to the G20 India presidency, I think during the Azadi Amrit Mahotsav. They had come out very well. Then I had asked the department, and the DEA was ready with a nicely framed version of the Panchatantra theme at the back and the coins placed in between. And it had come out so beautiful. I said, all right, we'll try this. Let's take it along where we go for the World Bank meet, for IMF meet, or any other bilateral meeting. Everywhere where I've given this as a gift, I've made it a point to showcase it and tell them why it is important. 2 years later, there are ministers, finance ministers, who come back to me to say that was one of the brilliant production. We really liked it. Because Panchatantra is something which many civilizations relate to because it has been adapted in very many ways, Aesop's fable and so on. So everything is drawn out of Panchatantra, but to commemorate it and to be able to present it in such a beautiful way was very well received. I thought that was very tastefully done. It's not just you produce the coins, but you imagined it in such a way that it can become a brand for India for gifting. So that is one very well received uh, production from the SPMCIL. Equally, I think you've really reached a higher level in terms of refining and assaying precious metals. So, particularly since after 21 budget, if I remember correct, a conscious call was taken that every confiscated smuggled goods, gold, which comes into this country, earlier used to be passed off to the State Bank of India and they would put it as an auction, go back to the market. We wanted to discourage that practice, and the guidance given by the Honorable Prime Minister, we said, why wouldn't we want to purify it and give it back to the RBI? Let them keep it in the gold stock of the country. So, after the legal processes are done, in each case of the smuggled gold, we made sure that the SPMCL would purify it for the requirement of the Reserve Bank's quality, because they are allowed to keep as gold bullion which match up with the global expectation of the gold standard. The prices are determined on that, and therefore the troy ounces are the measure that they use, and you had to match up to the level of the purity of every troy ounce which gets sold abroad. So you have mastered that. And in the financial year 24-25, 3.4 metric tons of refined gold were delivered to the RBI. Amazing. And they are purely the seizures which were taken by the CBIC. The customs have seized it from the smugglers and sent it to you. You purified it, and post the purification, you've sent it to RBI. And that alone, for one financial year, 24-25, is 3.4 metric tons of refined gold. You also do refining of silver and gold, which is received from the large temples, the TTD, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, and also from Vaishno Devi Shrine Board. So there is very intricate and nice balance of interesting things that you do. You just don't monotonously keep printing notes. You're doing so many other fascinating things. And that is very heartening to note that you're consistent and also reliant reliable in your financial performance as well. It was already mentioned that under the capital restructuring in 2015, an otherwise a languishing company has now paid back, not just now, in 2016-17 itself, you paid back all the loans that you have taken with interest. Without any compromise, you paid back with interest all the loans that had been taken even by 2016-17. And then after, you continue to deliver strong returns. And that is why in 23-24, you paid a dividend of 364 crores, uh, and following a record dividend of 534 crores the previous year, meaning 22-23 you gave 534, and 23-24 you've given 364 crores as dividend. So proves that you're actually moving in the right professionally run organization scheme of things. No wonder the MOS commented saying it might be just the right thing for us to see if you are going to move to being a Navaratna. I hope he said that, right? He did say that? I didn't understand Hindi wrongly, no? Okay. So I'm just saying that again, only to make sure that all of you are saying yes to the idea, which means you'll perform to make yourselves Navaratna. So production efficiency is something which I'm sure your management will give enough attention now that you have a record to keep up with, and supply side management issues should also be sorted out. I wouldn't get into how you should be run, but I like you all to be cheerful to say, hey, look where we were in 2016-17 and where are we today and where will we be tomorrow. So you should set the pace for this country. Particularly, you may be less known among all the public sector enterprises, but your product literally is in every man's hands. So you should make yourself more visible. And more than this, there's not much to say, but congratulations to all those who performed well. And for those who are looking forward to performing well for an award next year, I give my best wishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. We express our heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Finance Minister for her thought provoking and inspiring address. Your visionary leadership continues to guide India's economic and financial infrastructure, and we are deeply grateful for your support, which has been instrumental in our journey of modernization and reform. With this, we have reached to the end of the program, and I express my gratitude to the Honorable Finance Minister for having spared her valuable time and sharing her insights with us on this occasion. Madam, we are highly obliged for your gracious presence today. I'm also thankful to the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Officer on Special Duty, Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Chairman and Managing Director, SPMCIL, Board of Directors, senior officials from the Ministry of Finance, all head of departments of SPMCIL, officials from the media, employee representatives of the Apex Bipartite Forum, Trust Cell, SC/ST OBC Association, individual awardees, and all
Refining of silver and gold, which is received from the large temples, the TTD Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, and also from Vaishno Devi Shrine Board. So there is very intricate and nice balance of interesting things that you do. You just don't monotonously keep printing notes. You're doing so many other fascinating things.